Yeah, how many people have viewed the current events thread?
2.5.
2.3 million people.
Nice. Good.
Because
It's another example of
one
you
of the
not
few
staying in your
places
lane.
on the internet where you can actually
Talk about stuff.
talk about stuff.
Yep.
You know, I've had to scold a couple of people, but by and large, we're having a productive adult discussion over there.
Yeah, it only took about a year to get the idiots mostly filtered out.
Yeah, yeah, you can tell who they were. Every once in a while, that little boy Jonas will show up with some, while he's not paying attention to his 8th grade history teacher, he types in on the internet. You're not saying what I know to be true from CNN. Therefore, you're wrong. He's pretty funny. Oh, goddamn.
I was very sure of myself when I was 22 also.
You think he's 22? Ain't no fucking way.
You think he's younger? Older?
I think
What?
he's a kid.
He's a kid?
I think he's a kid.
Well, I was pretty stupid at 22.
I was stupid when I was 42, but I wasn't that fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. The problem is you lived in the
Okay.
real world, And even me at 22, it was tempered by the people you were around. If you said
Yeah.
something stupid, it could be demolished right there in front of
Yeah.
you. Now you can just say whatever you want.
And everybody says,
And you can find a bunch of people who will agree with you and think you're great.
right. Right. And nobody dares say you're wrong because nobody can actually be wrong anymore.
All
can they?
opinions matter.
All opinions have equal weight in 2021. Oh, we're living in a very, very bad movie.
Or a good one, depending on how it ends.
Depending on how it ends.
Might end up pretty
If
good.
it ends up with only 500 million people left on the surface of the planet, I mean, it's kind of
500
hard on the
million,
economy,
damn.
but it's not overall not a bad
That's
deal.
that's how the Renaissance came around.
Can you imagine San Francisco being devoid of life except for the bacteria left behind by
And the homeless
pieces
people.
of shit that live there now?
And the homeless people.
Hey, right after the Black Plague, there was land for everybody. There was food for everybody. Art was important then.
Yeah. That may be the plan. I've heard that suggested. They're engineering a mass die-off.
Hey, look.
Yes, you're going to have a booster shot vaccine every 3 weeks.
Last
from now
year,
on.
it
Until
was a
you die.
conspiracy theory that there would be a vaccine passport, right? I mean, this was
Yeah.
fringe conspiracy theory,
Fringe conspiracy.
insanity.
Yeah.
And
Why nothing like that would ever be contemplated?
you can't go
by
into a gym or
any
a
government.
restaurant in New York without showing proof, without
I don't
showing
see how.
your papers.
I don't
How is
understand.
New York? I don't understand how.
I don't
that
see how
functions.
that's not a HIPAA violation. Asking for medical
It
records.
is a HIPAA violation.
Yeah, I don't understand how
It's
it's getting
clearly
passed.
a HIPAA violation, and nobody gives a fuck
And here's the problem.
about the law anymore.
Here's the
It's just-
problem. You're a restaurant owner. Let's say you're a gym owner in New York. It's on you to enforce this bullshit. So what are you going to do? Are you going to say you're going to say, well, I got to do it? How many people are going to say fuck you and not care?
in New York,
That's the right.
2 or
That's the
3.
problem.
They'll all do it.
And the crazy thing is if
Because
you're
that
too young-
population has been selected for compliance.
and if you're too young
You
to
know.
get the vaccine, you can't enter in the building.
Right. Well, they don't want you in there anyway.
Jeez,
You're too young to get the vaccine. You don't have any money to spend anyway. So that's irrelevant. But you can only do this in locations where the population has been groomed for decades
yeah, like Australia looks that way, man.
for compliance.
Yeah.
Australians just do what they're told.
Yep.
That's the whole goddamn thing about Australia. They do what they're told. The Canadians do what they're told.
It's like a bad joke.
Because if you don't do what you're told, you're an asshole,
Right.
and you don't want to be an asshole. It's like the population of China. They've been for millennia. They've been ruled, and if you had a streak of, independence and uncooperativeness in you, guess what happened to you
And your family.
And
and your family and your gene pool? You know, so
It's like
you know, on a much shorter timeline, you've got the same thing going on in Australia and Los Angeles and San Francisco and Minneapolis and New York City.
it's almost funny.
It-
You've got
it-
they're doing Gavin Newsom's recall vote by mail.
Yeah, isn't that funny? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, that'll
We're
go
gonna
just
vote
fine.
everyone in the
there won't be
state
any problem with that.
Will be mailed a ballot. No, there's no way to rig. And everybody in California just goes, okay,
Sounds reasonable.
all right.
It's weird. Not one person voted for him out.
I mean, pandemic. You get a
Yeah,
pandemic.
yeah. I wonder. God, man, that's amazing.
Oh shit.
What will the post offices look like for a couple of weeks?
Oh, the drivers will just be throwing ballots in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And nobody will care.
Oh, it'll be. Oh, that's funny.
It's awesome.
That's just funny. Good for you people in California. Good for you people in California.